Christ is risen.
Indeed, he is risen.
Dear sisters and brothers, how good it is to be together, to proclaim God's victory over death. In this COVID year, people are dying, and we talk about it, and we're conscious of it. But in many ways, this year is like all other years because people die all the time. All people who are born will die. Me and you and all of us. If I tried to put my finger in the candlelight, my body would not let me keep it there very long. I would pull back. Try it. Maybe your finger is different. How much effort we put in to avoid danger, damage, and death. And there's two ways to live. Knowing that danger, damage, death are there, in many cases inevitable. We can live in fear, trying to outmaneuver the dangers and death and the damage. We can try to fool ourselves that it's not coming. Facelifts, longevity programs, exercise. I'm all for exercise. Since you saw me last Easter, I lost 25 pounds. I recommend it to everybody, almost everybody. Some of you need to gain 25 pounds. Or we can choose not to live in fear, but to live in Christ. In Him who conquered death by His death. The resurrection of Christ brings us together today. It brings us together every Sunday. We believe in the resurrection. It gives us hope. It is the rock of our peace. It is the foundation of our joy. And yet we also doubt. And that's why it's good to be together, so that we can support each other, so that we can sing the news of the resurrection, so that we can hear the gospel in different languages, knowing that it's universal. I had a beautiful witness over the last year about the power of faith. See that sister right there? Sister Yevgenia, can you raise your hand, Sister Yevgenia? Hi, wave your hand. A year ago, Sister Yevgenia had a death sentence. Her backbone was falling apart. Can you imagine that? Her backbone was cracking. She had one operation after another at the beginning of 2020. And the nurses quietly were saying in her hospital room, she's got another few weeks left. She's going to die. Now, Sister Yevgenia wanted to live. I don't know how long you want to live, Sister Yevgenia. You've lived longer than I've lived, and maybe more than I want to live. I don't know how long I want to live, but it's all in the Lord's hands. But most importantly, Sister Yevgenia lives with Christ. And she gave up her life from her youth. How old were you, sister, when you came to the monastery? 13 years old. Can you imagine? You'd say that's crazy. That's insane. How can you do that at 13? Well, I'm not saying you have to do that because you're already 30 or 50 or 70. But sister gave her life to Christ, who died for her and for all of us and rose again. And for over a half a century, over 60 years, not 70 yet, but over 60 years, she's living this life in Christ. And she lives in joy, even if it hurts. And she lives in hope, even though it's not always easy in a monastic community. And she lived another year when the specialist said, she's going to die. I wish you the profound peace of Christ's victory. I wish that you can surrender to Jesus and tell him, take care of everything. Everything. Take care of it. Christ is risen.